First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington Redskins and the Detroit Lions. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10. And incomplete to open things up.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Flex round! Flex round! Come on, let's go! 190! 190!
Check 42. Check 42.
Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd and long for Boykin. And this is going to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Fielded at the 20. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Lions will take over. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. A first carry for Samaje Perine. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Got it. Let's go, 14.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
They'll throw on first with Boykin. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
They had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Flex round! Flex round!
Here's Boykin, off play action. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Boykin eluding the pressure right. And this one is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it. Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. On 1st down, Wilson. Flush to his right. He's got a left. And got his man complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. A big play there for Detroit, and even 40 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now a carry for Pirine. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He's going to let one fly for Tate. This is caught. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Golden Tate, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. And he knocks it through. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now a play fake here on first down. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Boykin. Complete. Richardson has it. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. Throwing here, Boykin on first. And this one's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll hand it down to Geis. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From midfield now, Boykin. Waters got it over the middle. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. That'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio!
On first down, this is Geis. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Flex round! Flex round!
On 2nd down, here's Boykin rolling to his left. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
The Redskins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Boykin. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And down inside the 15 he goes. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Now from the red zone, Boykin on first. This is caught, and he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. On the ground, Geis, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Redskins are able to make this a close game again. Extra point good by Hopkins, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued. Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, and he fires one that's intercepted. Christian Jones, the one who picked it. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. After the interception, here's Wilson. Setting up the screen to Pirine. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They go play action here on first down. Out to his left. He'll let it fly in the direction. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go. What?
2nd and 10 now, Boykin. They'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
This quarterback now just 6 of 16 through the air, but he does have a 1st and 10 here. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Boykin on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
From the gun on 3rd, it's Boykin. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Now Boykin on 1st down. Josh Doxson's got it complete. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. A couple of 1st downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Boykin on 1st and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
All right, book 15. Shotgun. 14.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Over 70 yards receiving now for him in this first half alone, as he's got a 1st down on that last catch.
All right, 280.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. The left side completion to Jones. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Let's go.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To throw again is Wilson. He finds Roberts, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Wilson now at 200 yards already in this first half, and he's not done yet. 1st and 10. Wilson will throw again. Open is Tate. Touchdown, Lions. Make it a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. Now it's the backup Smith. This one caught by Crowder. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Smith. That's caught by Trey Quinn. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
From the 50, it's Smith. Escaping the pressure right. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Smith on 1st down. Being chased out left. And he slides to avoid the hit. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going for it all. And this is caught in the end zone. It's Dotson for the Redskins touchdown. Josh Doctson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins have made this a 1-score game. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And, Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
On 1st down, Wilson. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now Wilson on first down. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack.
Traditionally, as a defense, your number one job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacting the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the pocket. 3 touchdown passes already.
So that could be an important first sack if they do want to turn things around.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Wilson. Dancing to his left. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
Third and long, it's Wilson. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Fielded just inside the 20. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Smith now, a perfect 5 of 5 since taking over. They haven't missed a beat. 1st and 10.
Let's go. Let's go. 15. Good Liz. Orange.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. He sets the fire deep. It's caught inside the 25. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
15, yeah. 15, yeah. Slot. Slot.
On first down, Smith. An incomplete, an excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But second down instead.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Smith on 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
He's going to look deep down the field. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 49. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. after the interception. Here's Smith. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
15, yeah. Regular.
Here's Smith now on second down. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. He's going to let it go again. That's going to be caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Now Prater to add the PAT. Prater for the extra point. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, the fact you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And fights through one man. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Give the tackle there to Josh Norman.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
What's left?
Here's Pirine. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved.
Fourteen.
Wilson now to throw on third down. And Tate's got it. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it here with Pirine, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Ready?
From the gun on third down, Wilson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Open is Tate. Touchdown, Lions. Golden Tate, his third touchdown of the game and fifth on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. And he's got it up and through. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On first down, it's Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Third and long, it's Smith. It's brought in by Dodson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
That's his second sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing on third and long. Smith. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. So out now come the Lions. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard.
Spot that, spot that. Check me out. We got 3 down. We got to stand up over there.
They'll run again with P-Ryan. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now Wilson from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On 1st and 10, Smith. Completes it right side to Dodson. That one goes for 24 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. They go play action here on 1st down. Throw left side is complete to Reed. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there, a 22. Smith now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Smith. They'll roll him out right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a Redskin 1st down. Richardson on the reception from Smith. Back now at Ford Field. They come out here in the eye. Geis, they'll try to run it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Darius Geis, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some 1st downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
They start on the ground with Pirine. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
He's got a man complete. A very solid gain of 27. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now Pirine trucks over him, and he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Redskins. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A deep ball for Dotson. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd and 10, Smith. And his throw here's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. Jordan Reed has it. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Hey, back up, back up, back up, back up.
Here's Smith on 1st and 10. Caught on the right side, Reed. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Hey, gun. Tiger. Hey, back up, back up, back up, back up.
Smith now throwing on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Geis with the carry on 2nd down. Room here to run. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards.
I'm still an old-school football guy, and anytime you see a big-time running play, that fires me up. And if I'm on offense right now, in the position they're in now, inside the 10-yard line, I think after the way they've run it, they've set themselves up for a good play-action pass opportunity right here.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a short return to the 6-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Again, here's P. Ryan. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now Wilson down around his goal line, eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this.
52. 35.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. The 20. He's got his man on the crossing route. And that one results in 35 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
Hey, back up.
Out of the gun, Smith. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now Smith on 3rd and goal. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Oh, this is blocked. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Now it's Wilson. He'll get this out to his running back, P-Ryan. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Come on, let's go.
Throwing now is Wilson. Looking downfield for Jones. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. That goes for a gain of 31. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Oh, Wilson going to throw. Throwing deep for Galladay. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. One last throw here for Smith. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Quan Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.